Today, we are joined by Kyle Berner, the founder of Feelgoodz, where his company is creating incredible products that will help change the world and how we view hospitality and those slippers we find in every hotel room. We're so excited to have him. Thank you for listening to the Hotel Club podcast with my co-host, Chef Adam Mali, and myself, Kristy Whitford. Enjoy the episode. Cheers.
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you too, Chef. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm doing really well, thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm grammatically correct. And
Yeah.
my dogs are safe, or my
Oh,
dog is safe. No
yeah.
one's eaten him.
That's.
Apparently, it's a thing now.
I think I saw some dogs driving their own cars out of specific places. So
They're
let's
probably
save
trying to
all.
get away from the people trying to eat them.
Right. This week has been epic in America. Let's just say, I mean, the whole world, right? We have memes to last us for a very long time.
We could say it's unprecedented.
For sure. Well, today, are you ready for this awesome episode?
I have never been more readier.
Right? I'm so excited because we get to speak with Kyle. Kyle Berner is the founder of this amazing company called Feelgoodz. And that's one word with the letter Z at the end, which, I mean, how cool is that? And Kyle has started a beautiful company that is so eco-conscious, so Mother Earth friendly. And not gonna tell anybody else anymore because we're just gonna, have him join us here on the show because we gotta share with the rest of our listeners how amazing Kyle is and all the good things he's putting into the world.
Let's
So
spread some joy.
yeah, spread some joy and feel good, right?
Yes, I think we all need it.
We do. I agree. Well, let's see. I think he's almost here. There he is.
Hi.
Hi. Hi, Kyle. How are you?
Hey, Kristy.
It's so
Hey.
good to see you. This is Chef Adam here.
Hi, Kyle. Pleasure to meet you.
Hey, Chef. Nice to meet you too.
How's your day going?
Oh, it's good. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, we're excited to have you.
Your shirt says "Feel Good," so that was a kind of a dead giveaway right there.
Only one way to be, right?
Exactly. I mean, your products kind of did a little intro on, you and your company. It didn't give too much away because I feel like it's so incredible for you to tell the story of how you became the founder of this beautiful company and had this idea and that inspired you. So maybe you can, start there. Tell us your story and how you started Feelgoodz.
Sure. So it was the end of 2007, and I was backpacking in Thailand. And my one and only pair of flip-flops busted. I was in a night market just searching for some street food, and I had like a flip-flop blowout. I don't know if that's ever happened to you.
Which, by the way, I just have to jump in with that. The street food in Thailand is like nothing else on the planet. So carry on.
Agreed. And also Chef lived in Thailand too. He cooked over there and I'm part Thai. So you're speaking all like to our hearts, right? Our food hearts.
It's like next level, right?
Sure.
Anyway,
but yeah, the sandal blowout definitely has happened to me for sure.
Yeah, so that happened to me, and the problem was I had no other shoes with me because when I backpack, I just travel really light, some t-shirts and shorts and flip-flops, and I'm good to go. So I just started, shopping for another pair of flip-flops because I didn't want to walk around, Bangkok barefoot, right?
Right.
And I came across this display that looked like a big tree with flip-flops hanging from the branches of the tree.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a display, of course, but I was drawn to it. I was like, this is interesting. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
And it was a style that I'd always been familiar with, just your classic, Zori sort of thong style flip-flop. And I tried a pair on, and as soon as I did, I could tell that there was something, different about them because I'm a flip-flop guy, and I always
Are you a flip-flop connoisseur?
I am. And I've tried every
Amazing.
brand out there, right? And so as soon as I tried them on, I was struck first by the comfort, really. And I can speak a little bit of Thai since I live there. And I just struck up a conversation with the vendor who told me that the product was made from premium natural rubber tapped from rubber trees in southern Thailand. But I was blown away because at the time I had no idea that rubber even came from a tree. And I was just struck. So I really wanted to learn more. So I took a bus trip down to southern Thailand to learn about how the product was made and the process behind it and the people behind it. And the more I learned, the more I loved. And I just thought that people in the US, would love, a sustainable alternative to what was currently on the market. And so I really didn't really know what I was doing, but I ordered 300 pairs. I tracked down the manufacturer and I ordered 300 pairs. I came up with the brand name Feelgoodz.
Yeah.
And bought a 10 by 10 shed from Home Depot and I put it in my parents' backyard in New Orleans, and that was my first warehouse.
Amazing.
And April 2008 is when I sold my first pair out of that shed.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget in the early days was, I had a full-time job. And so I would go out, I would take orders by hand and I would go out at night with a flashlight and pick orders and deliver them to people. But that's how I got started. And I thought that people would really like the story. And so I tracked down the fashion editor of the Times-Picayune newspaper in New Orleans, which was the most widely read newspaper at the time. And I ended up getting a hold of her, and I got a story written about me in Feelgoodz, and I had the front page of the paper in October 2008.
What?
So April, yeah, it was wild.
Oh, what?
So,
after selling like your first few pairs?
I was still operating out of the shed.
Amazing.
Yeah. And so, but that article, for whatever reason, it struck a nerve, and it got picked up by the Associated Press. It funneled, around the world from Japan to Hawaii. And as luck would have it, the article made its way across the desk of the buyer of Whole Foods. And at the time, the Whole Foods buyer had brought in Tom's shoes before. And the success of Tom's, that was blowing up at the time, she thought, well, maybe a flip-flop line would be really great to bring in. So at the time that she was thinking that, my article came across her desk. And
wow.
So I was not even a year in business when we were launching in 17 stores in Whole Foods. This is May of 2009. So that's how quickly it all happened. And so much has happened since then, but that's really the origin story of how I got it going.
That's incredible. So you went from seeing shoes hanging in a tree, which is a very organic display in Thailand, to buying 300 pairs of shoes and having them stored in your own, I'm going to call it a he shed, in the backyard of your parents' home. And that's your warehouse. And then you went into the newspaper, and then suddenly, boom, 17 stores in Whole Foods. That's wild.
Just like that. Yeah.
What beautiful timing for you. How did that feel when you were just immediately, like within a year, really, right?
Within a year. And, I was really lucky, obviously, that the timing was perfect. But, I did, cold call that editor, I don't know how many times, 12, 13, 14 times. And, when the Whole Food buyer reached out, I did hustle to get samples and all of that. So I put in the work to get there. Yeah. So I think the hard work kind of created that luck, right? And those opportunities. Yeah. And then when the opportunity did come for the 17 stores, I put everything in my power to making sure that that launch worked. I went to every store and I set up a table and was talking about the product. I was basically putting flip-flops in people's baskets, right? Because I just wanted it to work. And I just knew that if I got the product on people's feet, that they'd love it. And at the time there were, I think, 250 Whole Food stores at the time, I think. Mm-hmm. And so I just saw a runway, right? I was like, I got to do well in these 17, because if I do, then maybe I'll get to 50 and maybe I'll get to 100. And now as we speak, we're in 525 of them.
Wow.
which is really, it's really built our brand,
Are
really.
you in Denver's Whole Foods?
We are.
Okay, I'm gonna go check them out tomorrow morning.
That's awesome. Yeah, and what you'll see in there now is our slipper collection. So we have so much to this brand, but we have an entire flip-flop collection, which is sort of our bread and butter, and then we have a like a house slipper collection as well, which is launching in stores as we speak. So if you go in there, you'll likely see those too.
It's such an amazing shoe. It's very comfortable too, which is fantastic.
The
It's not just a
comforts of that.
slipper.
Right.
It's a very comfortable slipper, and it lasts a long time.
Yeah,
and I love the fact that you're doing good for the world. Like it's a feel good product, right?
It is. Yeah, and it just kind of made sense to me. I wanted to know, like, I wanted to know where the product came from and who was making it and how it was made, and ever since that beginning of really wanted to be connected to to the product and the people of product and how it's made, and that's sort of carried through with our brand for the past 15 plus years. And so that ethos of thoughtful materials and sort of working directly with artisans and farmers and sort of bringing that to life has stayed true with every style that we launched.
That's amazing.
Since the beginning.
Well, and I met Kyle in the spa world, because then you went from being in Whole Foods and selling in their stores. What was your journey from there to getting into hospitality? How did that happen?
So with Whole Foods, every year the biggest trade show is in Anaheim, California. It's called the Natural Products Expo, and Feelgoodz would exhibit there every year. We've been exhibiting for the past dozen years or so, and every year the staff from the Green Spa Network would always stop by.
GSN,
GSN would always stop by our booth. Tara, I don't know if you know Tara.
Yeah, I know Tara.
Yeah, they would stop by and just say, "Hey, Kyle, I think your brand would do really well in the hotel and resort industry. We really need a brand like yours." And I would say, awesome, thanks so much for thinking about us, but never really, I don't know, I never really thought about it. I was so dialed in on kind of what I was doing at the time. But after maybe the third or fourth year of them coming by, I said, okay, well, how do I get started? And she said, well, there's a buyers conference called the Green Spa Network Buyers Conference. There's one happening at Savannah in Carefree, Arizona, and I think it was September, October of 2019. And I said, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna give it a shot and see what happens. And so that's how we got introduced to the industry. And I went by myself, really not knowing anything.
I love that about you. I will say you're the person. You're like, no, I'm going to be there. Well, you're such a hands-on founder.
Yeah, because
awesome.
It's a totally new world, right? And so, like, how can I tell the rest of my team what to do if I don't know what to do myself, right?
Right.
So I really wanted to be immersed in it so that I could really try to learn what I could, and that was really my goal with that show was to learn. And the resounding feedback was that we think your brand fits in this world. But then also I learned all about something called, back bar slippers and back bar sandals. And I didn't know what that was at the time.
Yeah.
And, was hearing that there really wasn't a lot of options in that world, especially for a sustainable option. And so leaving that show, I thought, well, maybe we can create a style or a collection that can work in that environment, right? Where a guest comes in, takes a pair of sandals and, it can be, reused and washed, and it's non-slip and all of those things that spa directors were telling me that they were looking for in a product. So I did it. I went back and I created something, and through, years of sort of trial and error, we have what's now called, we call it the Zero Collection, with a few different styles within that are primarily made for that back bar use. So that's how we got in.
Wow.
Went to iSpa and was putting samples out and saying, what do you think of this? And was refining it and all of that. And so it's still very new to us. This is only a few years old, because I got started in 2019 with this market. and then 2020 comes and 2021. And so we're
Right.
still really just getting started, but I absolutely love the industry.
Isn't it amazing?
It
I
really is. I mean, the people are just really, really amazing, and the connections I've made just over the past few years, it's like nothing else. It's really, really cool. And to have a brand like ours, which I think is fairly unique in the market, that is really trying to come with sustainable options and sustainable alternatives to the table and come up
Mhm.
with really interesting solutions for people, has been really well received.
Right.
And so we're excited to really lean in this market and try to take it to the next level for our brand.
That's amazing. And for many people, if you don't actually visit a spa or, get spa treatments frequently, to what you were saying in the back bar is like, for me as a former spa director, you have sandals that people put on when they go and change before they have their treatments. And some people walk out with those sandals and take them home. Right. And so you're like, well, they want a part of the price. So, but you can't actually chase a person down and be like, I know you have the slippers.
Right, right.
They were in the locker and they're now gone. And you were the only person there. For every spa
Right.
director that exists,
It's
they're
funny,
like,
right?
it's like
I just
someone's stealing silverware off a table. Can't do that.
it's weird. I just came from a role where I was responsible for ordering slippers for rooms, and I couldn't find anything they looked like they were going to ignite.
Yeah.
I mean, they just don't look natural, and they look like they're never going to break down. And I mean, I guess they're plastic for the most part.
I don't know what they are. I mean, you would know, Kyle, because I think this is a perfect segue now into what you've gone in terms of creating a solution and solving the issue with back bar slippers for spas, and also for people to buy those slippers when they, don't steal them from the locker room. People, please don't do that because it costs money. Just buy the fresh new ones. But I mean, Kyle has found that beautiful solution for spas. And now you're going in and venturing into a whole new area. You want to tell us about that? So the chef is like, he knows where to order his slippers from next.
Well,
Yeah.
I actually just ordered a pair of Zenzols, by the way. So
Oh, nice, nice,
thank
nice.
you.
Yeah. You'll like them. Those are like podiatrist design. Those are true like sandals. So
They
those are
look amazing.
our support.
Yeah.
The midsole is a yoga mat midsole, then the outsole is natural rubber and rice husks for good traction. So you'll end up it'll form fit to your feet. You'll like them.
Awesome. They're
Yeah.
great price too. I was
Yeah.
blown away.
Yeah.
And I love your website. There's a picture of the Ciao Freda on the front, on the landing page.
I was there.
In
Okay.
Bangkok, yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. We try to bring a lot of that backstory into the brand, because it's so unique. Sometimes I don't even know. Sometimes I don't even feel like it's real. It's like a dream. But yeah, that's what happened. So yeah, with it, Kristy, like you mentioned, with the sort of new venture that we're looking at, it really kind of started with the problem, right? And in being in this industry for the past few years, just and thinking about where in a resort or a hotel people actually need footwear, right, and or accessories. And one of those areas was in room. And when you look at it, for the most part, that world is dominated by just single use disposable cloth, kind of
Hairy, something.
Yeah.
It's a mixed dose of textures and textiles. We don't really know what it's made out of.
It's a lot. It's a lot of polyester.
I think it's this white slipper. Let's just call it that.
Yeah, and we didn't. It didn't feel right to us to try to create something else like it. And so we were trying to sort of like think about that problem, because the problem is huge, and I didn't really know how huge it was, but there's millions of tons of slipper waste from the hotel industry globally. And even in the US alone, it's estimated that up to 10 million pairs a month of these single use.
10 million a
Yeah,
month.
yeah, it's from the
That's wild
it's
because they're
wild.
not recyclable. They're not.
No,
They're not
they
good
just
for the environment.
they
They
just
go to
end up
landfill.
landfill. And I was blown away by the volume of that, and not even really realizing how big of an issue that actually is. And then so I read an article about it, and I thought, my goodness, what can we as a brand do about it? Because it makes sense for us to do something,
Right.
about it. And so our solution has come into what we call the Bodhi slipper, which is a 100% recycled slide, made from plastic grocery bags, recycled plastic grocery bags, recycled plastic water bottles, recycled tires. So it's totally 100% zero waste.
Wow.
And we created this item that no one else in the world has created, and the output of it is a really, really high quality, sort of luxury looking item that we think can be a replacement for this single use slipper. And then, and to kind of like next level it, and and Kristy, you've been such an advocate,
I
for
believe
us.
in this so much.
Yeah, that it can be such a win-win for guests and hotels and Feelgoodz as well, and that the guests could actually have the option to buy them from the room.
Right.
And the product would be customizable and branded with the property of the hotel that they're staying. I mean, if you think about some of these amazing properties around the world, if a guest is able to have a slipper that has the property logo on it, that's something that they can take with them and have as a reminder of the experience that they had, which is also very good for
the environment,
for the environment, and for the hotel too, because it's a product that the guests can then take and use, as opposed to throwing out a single use.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's also that product like a person is going to put into their bag and take home. And if you have a swimming pool, or you're going to the beach, or just going around the house, you can clean these slippers so easily. And the longevity of that slipper is going to last, I mean, for however long you can possibly wear them. But not only that, but it's also that great reminder when you look down that I have to go back to that hotel again, and stay there. And what a great memory that was. And that in itself, I think, is already a beautiful reminder for marketing for the hotel. And it really is a win-win, because you're not contributing to that 100 million.
Right.
What 100 million sandals?
Yeah, no, it's up to 10 million monthly in the U.S. alone. In the U.S. alone.
Louise, I think we could do better.
We can do better. We can totally do better. And it can be
found a solution.
It can be such a win-win for everybody down the line. And we wanted to create a product that, putting ourselves in the day of the life of the guests, right? They're in their room, and maybe they're going to the pool or the spa, and something that can get wet and it's non-slip and all those things, and then they take it home. It makes the absolute perfect around the house slipper for sure. And so it's going to be in that guest consciousness all the time, because that's how we designed that product, was that it would just sort of live sort of right there at the doorstep of your home.
Yeah.
And so we're imagining this world that can be such a positive thing for so many people on so many levels. And that's why we're really, really excited about it.
That's incredible. I mean, what were you going to say, Chef?
I think, the commitment to sustainability is a huge thing that I know a lot of the market share, they're looking for it. And if we're not doing it in every facet of the amenities that are found in hotel rooms, it's disappointing. One of the things with the group that I currently work with is they're really committed to it, and we have aluminum water bottles, and so we've eliminated plastic. But these sound amazing. The thing that I'm still shocked shocked and horrified by, I never even thought of it, is the material waste
Hmm.
from the manufacture process. So the slippers that are really not sustainable, that are polyester, there's got to be so much waste from those.
Right.
And it sounds like the material you're using can just be repurposed.
Totally repurposed. So there's, like I
Yeah.
said, the materials that we use are repurposed in and of themselves, because we basically can take, just imagine just like huge blocks of like plastic grocery bags. Well, that can be turned into a compound,
That's insane.
into a compound. Yeah, I have pictures of me in front of this stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
That's so
wild.
fascinating.
It can be turned into a compound that can then be turned into like the footbed of the product. And the same thing with the strap. We can use plastic water bottles, reclaim those, break that down into a compound, and then
Hmm.
use that for the strap. And then the outsole is partial like scooter tire waste
Wow.
from Vietnam. And there's a lot of scooter tire waste there
Yeah.
because everybody drives scooters, right?
Right.
And
Right.
so we're sort of helping that
That
part.
is so cool.
Yeah, so the material usage is really cool, and our biggest thing was that we really wanted to make really wanted to make like the best quality product that we could, putting
Mhm.
ourselves in the mindset of that guest when they walk in and they see it and they're wearing it around the property, and they take it home and they're wearing it around the house, and they can wash it if they want to, and all of those things. And we're excited about bringing it to the world, really, because I think that people will love it.
It's such a fun product, and everybody needs a pair of sandals, no matter who you are. I mean, I one for sure need some more sandals in my life always, but to be able to have them and access them when I travel, because it's sometimes that thing that you forget that you didn't pack at all, and you end up needing or looking for them all over the place, and then you end up finding some that you don't even like most of the time,
Hmm.
but you just have to, kind of bite the bullet and just wear them. But yours are a really great style, and they're unisex, right? And the
Yeah.
sizing is really great. Your sizing, remind me, is it from like small, from like a 5, a women's 5, all the way to a men's like 14 or
Yes.
something like that, which
Yeah.
is pretty awesome. And you you know in the hotel, I remember getting phone calls, and there would be guests that have big feet, like the guests are like, what are they, basketball players?
Yeah.
And they can't even fit the slippers. I'm
You, you know
so
what they you know what they say about a guy with big feet.
sorry. He leaves a big footprint on it.
Yes, and they don't fall forward as easily as others.
Big
I'm
feet.
I'm super excited about um I'm super excited about the fact that these could possibly be comfortable,
Yeah.
Yes, no, they really are comfortable.
because being a chef and and you, Christy, too, you're on your feet quite a bit. So
Yes.
these
So
could provide great relief.
incredible relief, like when you're traveling, but even at home too. But I think about when I'm traveling, and typically my travel right now is for business. And so when I'm traveling, I think on one of our episodes we talked about, Chef and I will ask you this question too. What's the first thing you do when you get into your hotel room, Kyle?
Oh gosh. Um, take my I just like sort of like throw my bag to the side and like like just like plop on the bed.
Yeah. So, Chef, what was yours again? The first thing you do?
It's so embarrassing. You're really going to make me do this again,
Yeah,
aren't you?
yeah, for sure.
I go and plug in all my chargers.
Yes, he goes and charges all his devices. So he does. He's like, I just need to stay connected.
Frantically searching for all the outlets before the others can get them.
What about you, Christy? What do you do?
First thing I do is I look for the slippers because I want to take my shoes off and put on
Oh,
slippers. That's the first thing I want to do. And most of the time when I find the slippers, it's like, which style are we getting today? But it's always going to be a white slipper, and they're always going to be way too slippery, one, and they fall apart. But it feels better to be out of my shoes and in some form of a slipper until I take them off, and then I put them in the garbage. And once in a while, I have this eco guilt where I feel really bad for throwing it in the garbage. So I'll stuff it in my suitcase and take it home and try to wear it.
Oh no.
At least I'm getting some more use out of it. And then I end up throwing them away because they're not recyclable. They don't have that material. So I find like what you've created for the room experience to be something that personally I would be bananas about. I'd be so excited to put them on and feel really good about taking them home and keep wearing them as I'm home too. So I think that what you've created is just amazing. Amazing. It's a solution again to that 100 million slippers a year going in the dumpsters and the landfills.
Yeah.
It's horrible. It's really sad that happens, but this is a really great way for us to change what's been going on for so long, right?
Yeah, I think so too. And so yeah, we just need sort of forward thinking, hotels to sort of like
Jump
change
on.
the mindset and like, and get on board, because it's a win-win for everybody. For sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And as a guest too. I mean, Chef, you stay in a lot of hotels because you're traveling a lot too. Would you be excited to see those inside of the room when you arrive? He's
I
like,
was
I'm collecting all of them.
not only excited, I would take them home.
Yes, absolutely.
I would be your worst enemy. Because I don't even want to put my feet in the slippers that you typically find. We don't have them, but in another role with these other slippers, we had these. I don't know how people even like them. They're not very comfortable.
Oh,
They're
no,
they're made from material that is really not friendly to the earth, but also not friendly to your feet.
no.
So
Yeah. What it kind of feels like to me is it's just like, let's just find like the sort of like cheapest thing possible that we can imagine, and kind of that could pass, and kind of put it in there, but
Yeah.
they're no good, man.
They're no good. They really aren't. I'm so excited for you. I'm excited for the properties that take this and really action this entire process out and put those slippers in there, and like how much, much better it's going to be for the world and for our environment as a whole. Like I have a question for you. When you were telling us about your story and being in Thailand, what were you doing in Thailand? What took you to Thailand, and how did that journey happen to bring your life into creating Feelgoodz? What did that look like in the beginning?
Yeah, so I initially I bought a one-way ticket there when I was 25 years old. I just really wanted an adventure, and I was living in Austin at the time, working at a hot dog cart vending business.
Did you
And
really?
I did. That's a wild story in and of
Yes.
itself. But I met this backpacker that asked me if I knew where he could find some Thai food, and so I ended up striking up a conversation with them, and he told me that he had just come back from living in Thailand for 6 months, on an island, studying Muay Thai kickboxing, and he was a young guy like myself, and I asked him, I was like, well, if I wanted to go like live in Thailand, like how would I do it? And he said, well, the easiest way would be to go teach English there, to get certified as a TEFL, which stands for Teaching English as a Foreign Language. Get your
Yeah.
TEFL certificate, and you can go over there and find a job. So that's what I did. I went online and I got my TEFL certificate. I bought a one-way ticket to Bangkok, and ended up traveling for a while, but then found a job in a city called Pitsanalok, which is in between Bangkok and Chiang Mai, and lived there for a year as an English teacher. So that was my experience there, and that was from like 05 to 06. And when I went back to Thailand for a buddy of mine's wedding who still lives there, that's when the aha moment happened. I
Really?
had gone back at the end of 2007 to be a best man to a buddy of mine, and that's when I was walking in the markets in Bangkok and my flip-flops broke. And so
Wow.
it was one of those things where I wasn't looking to start a flip-flop company. I was interested in something to do with staying connected to that part of the country,
Mm-hmm.
because of the experience just changed my life so much for the better. And so I was like, professionally, I was like, what could I do to stay connected? So I did have my eyes open, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Even though
absolutely.
I didn't really know what I was looking for, but I do believe in like a universal sense that mindset that was almost like the universe conspired to like say your flip flop is going to bust today, Kyle, and
Yeah.
it's going to lead you to this, and the stars sort of aligned, and I was like, whoa, because I am a flip flop guy. It wasn't like I'm not like selling ballerina shoes or something.
Right, right.
Or like steel toe boots, which I know nothing about. I was like, oh, flip flops, of course. I know this product. Like I wear this product, and like these are legit. Like,
Yeah.
so let's do something. So, but that's how the trajectory happened. Was after teaching English there.
A series of incredible events that
Mm-hmm.
just like arrived into your life. Your friend that got married in Thailand, was your friend someone that you met while you were in Thailand?
Yeah, he was an English teacher with me
Okay.
in the same community in Pitsanulok, Thailand. Yeah.
That's amazing. I just got goosebumps because how cool is it that he met a backpacker that was looking for Thai food, and then he learned about how to go to Thailand and live, and then made a friend, went back, and then discovered his
Mm-hmm.
aha moment, and that changed the trajectory of his whole life after that. That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah. It's been over 15 years now, and in a way, I feel like I'm just getting started. So
Wow.
I really love it.
Do you ever feel like the things that happen to you, they happen because they're meant to be? Like you're going into these different pages, I should say, or chapters of your business. And when you started, you believed in this product and brought it all the way over here. And like this article happened, happenstance. And then it got picked up by Associated Press and happenstance. And then Whole Foods, right? And then these people, like what is your secret? Or what should I say? What is it about the way that you live that keeps yourself so open to all these amazing things that arrive into your life?
I think a lot of it is, I don't see problems as problems really. I see problems as opportunities, and so I can easily, when things happen during the day in Feelgoodz, which they happen daily, problems happen, but I immediately flip my mind to solution. I think that's part of it. I also think that I've always been a really sort of passionate, tenacious person in general. But then as far as like how the universe is conspired and how things have happened, I call it seed planting. So I have a lot of ideas all the time, and I never really know how they're going to come to fruition and when. And so I'm constantly like, I'm just call it planting seeds, where like I'll send that email even though I don't really know why I'm sending it, right?
Hmm.
Or I'll jot this note down and put it in my pocket even though it's irrelevant at the time.
Right.
And I just, that is sort of just me being led by just this other world, right? That like
Yeah.
it's just intuition, where I'm being led to do these things. And so I was just trusting that in this sort of like seed planting, mindset that things, that the universe will conspire and to
Hmm.
move the yardsticks for you in some way.
Right.
And will the path be straight? It's all over the place, but looking at it as an adventure is I think part of it, part of the fun of it too. And it's like, well, it's this thing. It's like, okay, well, what are we gonna do now? Well, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
So this new venture with changing, really, it's completely taking the idea of what we've been so used to in arriving in a hotel and having these white slippers. This is your seed planting and sharing it with people and finding a beautiful solution to making the world a better place, which I think is just an incredible cycle in general of taking products that could harm the world, like all these plastic bottles,
Mhm.
plastic bags, rubber, that you can recycle and make into these shoes, and then removing that infamous white slipper and taking it away from the landfill and continuing to recycle all the good things back into hospitality like it should be. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's it. And you can see why. I mean, you can see why I'm passionate about it, because it makes sense to me personally in my
Mhm.
personal ethos, and I think I feel like I'm doing something really, um, I don't know, just something that can really make a difference,
Valuable, very valuable.
and and then from just from the origins of Feelgoodz and how this was all born and how this is all came to be and the trajectory of our brand, gosh, how much it makes sense for that and for us
Right,
too in that way. It just makes so much sense.
right.
And so we're going for it.
This is a big project.
I
It's
know,
major, right?
I
And
I know.
it's huge. It's walking
It
into a room and never seeing a white slipper again. How beautiful would that be?
That would be amazing. And
Amazing.
how did you discover like the manufacturing process? I'm fascinated by this.
yeah.
Just like because this is obviously you've come very far in a fairly short time, but there had to have been a huge amount of thought and planning and just thinking about processes to get this going, which I'm actually very admiring of.
Yeah, so in the ecosystem of Feelgoodz, now we actually have suppliers in 5 different countries now. So Thailand is one, Vietnam is another, um, India is another, Nepal is another, and Turkey is another, and they've all kind of come to be really organically through the seed planting process,
Mhm.
Colin.
Hmm.
So in Vietnam, for example, I was connected to um, a guy that used to be a cinnamon farmer in Vietnam,
Oh,
and
wow.
he um, he developed uh, these insoles that were infused with cinnamon powder as a sort of as an antimicrobial insole
Oh,
basically.
wow.
And I was connected to him, and at the time, I was like, this is kind of weird, but still kind of cool. But like, I don't really know if it fits with Feelgoodz. Like, I'm not really sure what to do with this. But I'd stay connected with him, um, and so as the line grew, and thinking about the types of materials that we wanted to use, the molding that's needed for certain styles that we have. Thailand is the best in the world at making the best natural rubber flip flops. They are the best, right? But
Yeah.
like trying to come up, so like those Zen Souls, chef, for example, that you're talking about, like
Hmm.
those are actually made in Vietnam because the artistry there and the capability there and the machinery there and the materials there are better suited for that particular style. And
Okay.
and so through that process of creating that style in particular, our suppliers knew that we were really thoughtful and trying to be innovative about the materials that we really wanted to use. So like using yoga mats as a rice husk and as a midsole, and using rubber and recycled rice husks for an outsole, and using woven fabrics for uppers and things like that. And so when I came up with the concept, back to the back bar concept, Chrissy, that we were talking about,
Yeah.
I was talking to our suppliers and said, look, we want to do something different. We want to use different materials. We want to do something completely zero waste. And we want to do something that checks all these boxes. We want it to be comfortable. We want it to be non-slip, and this and this and this.
Hmm.
And so together is when we discovered that we could actually take a lot of the waste that happens in Vietnam, whether it's scooter tire waste or plastic bottles, grocery bags, plastic bottle wrappers, all of that can be um, turned into this compound, which can be the basis of the
Wow.
product that you use. And so um, I know that's a long answer of how it was all set up, but it all really started by a guy that I was connected to that made cinnamon insoles, and the idea that this is somebody that is thinking about different types of materials that can be used, and I
Hmm.
want to lean in there and think about what are the other types of interesting materials that we can use, and then Vietnam as a country and an infrastructure just happens to be set up perfectly for the machinery and the workforce and the tooling needed to bring those types of products to market. So the Bodhi slipper is out of Vietnam because of all of those reasons, for example.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Does that make sense?
Isn't that so
I
fascinating?
know there's way more to this, but
There is.
Yeah.
There's way, yeah.
There's a
Sure.
whole lot.
And a lot of it, Chef, is just. I mean, I've been to these. I mean, I was just in Thailand and Vietnam. Last month. I'm there.
You're very hands-on, right?
Very hands-on. I'm there annually. It's always made sense to me to really be kind of on the ground, hands-on. Working and figuring the things out. And I just have the mindset to be able to sort of like put these puzzle pieces together, because I can kind of like, with my experience with just knowing what quality is, right, and just knowing what I've learned in the footwear world and accessories world over the years, I can kind of maneuver and navigate and figure out ways to like come up with really, really interesting things.
Right.
You know what would be really cool? If you could invent or design a pillow for long haul flights that works.
Ooh.
So
not the neck pillows.
The neck something. I've been looking for one and I can't find one, and I'm like, wow, if you could do that with like sustainable material, because the stuff you see at airports, it's like, I don't know, that kind of looks, that doesn't look
make
right.
a slipper and neck pillow combo for your travel needs. That's
Well, because if you're traveling back and forth to Thailand, you're on long haul flights. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of, I don't know if you know about this in Thailand. There's a lot of like pillow and mattress manufacturing there because of the natural rubber latex
Okay.
from the rubber trees. So
another project.
No.
This will be neck Feelgoodz next. After he takes over the hotel world of slippers and changes them out of
I'm going after air
It's the airline industry.
Neck pillows. I love it.
Oh man, that's too good.
That's awesome. First, he's gonna take the white slippers out of the rooms, put some beautiful Feelgoodz in there, and then he's gonna attack your neck pillows.
Actually,
eliminating neck pillows.
Next.
Not a joke, but if you fly in like business or first class, which I haven't very often, but they give you those crappy slippers.
They do.
I mean,
They do.
Like,
hey, that's an
cool to see
airline.
yeah.
Maybe the airlines need to change those slippers too. Those are gross.
Those are really gross.
I have worn those.
Yeah. Talk about throwaway.
Do you want to talk about I'm going to take it here, but when you do put those slippers on and you go to the bathroom on a long flight, the floor is not clean. Oh, sorry. The floor is not clean. It's awful. And I've definitely had to swap my slippers out. It would be better if I had Feelgoodz on for sure on those long, beautiful flights, right? Because PSA, please clean up after yourself in a airline bathroom.
I know, it's so gross.
It's disgusting. But maybe, you get to replace those slippers in the airlines too. For anyone that's a airline company, contact Kyle so you can change those slippers out. That would be amazing.
Feelgoodz.com, right?
Feelgoodz in the air.
Oh man.
Yeah. But wow. And the thing about this is, with your product, people probably think this must be so expensive. You created a product that is actually very at a comfortable price point for not only the consumer, but also for hotels, for retailers, which is such a nice thing. You're not that kind of company that could charge more. You just want everybody to have an eco-friendly product in their home for their lifestyle. What is the thinking behind that in terms of having such kind pricing?
I think, when you're putting myself into a guest's shoes, and when I walk in and if I see a pair of sandals that I really want, they used to be free, and in this model there'll be a little tag around them that says $20 bill to room, and that just feels really easy and clean and something that's almost like a no-brainer. And that's kind of what we want, is we want something that's just sort of like you're not even really thinking about it. because what we want to do is get the product on people's feet, right?
Hmm.
And at the same time help to generate revenue for the hotel as well, and give
Hmm.
and give the property marketing value out of it
Right.
too. So it just feels like something that if I'm a guest, I'm gonna do that, and that's
Right.
ultimately what we want, is like not even really think about it.
That's
Uh,
awesome.
yeah.
$20, chef.
Uh,
Do you know what's on your menu that's $20? On like your cocktails probably cost more on your menus than $20 slippers.
I would think so.
Yeah.
It's cocktails have gotten way exorbitantly expensive as well as other things. I mean, if you want a burger's more expensive than that now.
Yeah. I was at a restaurant last night in Beverly Hills, and I'm not going to say the name of the restaurant, but I will say it rhymes with Negronis, and it you can figure it out yourselves. It's Italian. But I bought cocktails, and each cocktail was over $20. I had a $23 cocktail, and then one was like 25, and I'm just thinking these are two pairs of feel goods right now. I'd rather
Yeah.
walk out with two pairs of feel goods. I'll just pour my own wine at home, darn it. But that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's like it's really a no-brainer when
Right.
you see that, right? And you think about the in-room menu and what people have and just in general when you're out, how fantastic it is to be so, again, so sustainable and to do it in such a way that is gonna take you for the long run, right? You get to take it everywhere. So
Yeah. That's
I
that's
love it.
that's the goal. Going global. Let's go.
I'm going global. Get your future Feel Goods neck pillow and put on your Feel Goods slippers. Jump on the plane. We're going. We're changing all the slippers out of these hotels ASAP. I love it. He's like, I'm going to get these shoes soon, right? I need to get my feet in these Feel Goods ASAP too.
The order has been placed.
Yeah.
Um,
Wait, so you really did order?
Yeah, he bought a
yeah.
pair.
Oh wow. I'll have to
It's like, I'm going to check your order.
I'll see it come through our system tomorrow morning for sure.
He's
Amazing.
he's
What did
saying,
so wait, so what did you get? You got the Zen soles. What did you get? Like pine, sequoia. Do you remember what color you got?
It was the brown. There were three colors. Actually, they all look really nice. I wanted the blue strap.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I got the brown one. So
Okay,
he's a
sequoia.
fan.
Okay. Okay,
I
yeah,
love it.
those you'll love them. Those have been really popular this year. Those are
I
great.
I looked at them and I'm like, those look really comfortable.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you need more of a sandal with arch support, then
Yep.
that's a really good fit. Yeah.
It may be too TMI, but my feet are just a mess. So
Your
Okay,
feet.
well, then
Well,
we'll take care of you.
yeah. If you're in the kitchen, they're on their feet forever, and it takes 12 hours, whatever it might be. So this will feel really good.
well, I'm not going to wear these in the kitchen. These are for when I'm in a hotel room
Yeah,
and when I'm walking around because
yeah,
they look amazing. So
yeah,
and
yeah.
I like to wear those when I'm walking around. So
It's a good lifestyle sandal for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
This has been so incredible to speak with you. Like when you were in Thailand now, I'm curious because I eat really spicy food. Do you eat spicy food too?
Very
Because
spicy.
you're in Thailand? Yeah?
Yeah, and I grew up in New Orleans too, so I can handle the heat.
Okay.
So yeah, and especially having lived there for the year, I just got more used to it over time. Some of these like jungle curries I would eat, I'd be
Oh
like,
my gosh,
whoa,
that's
and I'm
the
like,
best.
and you're like sweating, but it's like you're sweating. It's like a happy sweat, you know, like you're like you barely even know where you are, but it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Like in this like
That
amazing environment.
buzz over your head from
Yeah.
the spice. It's so hot.
You know what was so cool, and we've talked about this before too. When I was
Yeah.
in Bangkok, I'm the biggest wuss, on the Scoville
He
scale.
doesn't eat spicy food.
I
Oh
can
no.
tolerate on the Scoville scale from like 1 to I think it's 250,000 is the limit, or it might be a million now, but On that scale, I can maybe tolerate a 2,
Oh,
which is like the spice of a bell pepper. And, and
It's
so
not even spicy.
I get over there and I'm eating like Thai chilies and I forgot the name of the chili over there.
The
But
bird eye chili?
yeah, those.
Yeah.
And but it didn't bother me. Like
That's amazing.
if I'm home, there's no way I can't even look at it. I can't even be in the same room with a habanero. But when I was over there, the chili had like flavor and it was there for a purpose. And yeah, it was hot, but it didn't kill me. And it didn't even
Right.
make me uncomfortable, which was bizarre. There's so many cool ingredients over there. Like I had a lemongrass salad when I was in Bangkok.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like it
Yeah.
was like endive. And you
Yeah.
get it over here and it's like a branch.
Right, right. Yeah, you could go from
This
one
is
salt to
true.
the next, and I mean, you could be just in Bangkok alone. You could be there for weeks and still barely even
Yeah.
scratch the surface. I mean, it's
Yep.
incredible. And half the time, I don't even really know what I'm eating. I'll just point and try it, and like most of I'll just sit like on the steps of a 7-Eleven or something, and I'm just like,
Yeah, so delicious, right?
with like a cold beer, or like just in my own world. But like I always ask for extra like cucumber or an extra like so to cool your palate, right? Because it's just
Right.
so, so I'm like I'll take this with like a bag of cucumbers.
For anyone going to Thailand, that's the secret from Kyle. Ask for extra cucumbers.
extra cucumber.
That's amazing. I
Yeah.
love that your adventure has taken you to Thailand and this has created this beautiful company that you
Yeah.
have made and you're helping everybody become a better human by being sustainable and being more thoughtful in what they bring into their life. And that's just so amazing. You just never know where you're going to end up. And you just have to have an open mind and go there, right? And it's just phenomenal to hear. I'm so excited for you. Very excited.
Well, thank you so much, and I'm an equally big fan of yours too, Kristy. That's for sure.
Thank you. Thank you. Should we ask you now, what is your absolute comfort food?
Oh gosh, I
Tom
love.
Yum. Tom Yum.
Tom Yum.
No, you know what it is? It's a like New Orleans po' boy.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
yeah. Those are
That's so good.
that's legit.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
with a specific bread from a brand called Leidenheimer bread. And I used to and went to college. There was a local po' boy shop named Guy's Po' Boys. One guy made all the sandwiches, and he ended up like um, naming a po' boy after me because I would go there so often and eat
That's
it.
so cool.
So po' boy is for sure my comfort food. Yeah.
Amazing. That's awesome. We love to talk about food here because, chef loves
I
food.
know, Chef. I want to hear about
We-
I want to hear about you and all of the things and all of your good stories too. It can't be
Oh,
all about me.
that's like NSFW though.
Yeah.
I mean, those are different stories. Sorry, but
Well. So this is what we'll do. One of these days we'll connect and we'll
Yeah.
sit down. We'll have some Thai food together, and
I love it.
I want to hear all.
Yes.
You'll be wearing your Zen souls, right? And we will have a kumbaya, and we'll hear all about your stories.
I think we should all do that. That would be
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
That would be awesome. I've already complained about my feet, so we've got that out of the way. And now I can go into the good stories.
We all know his feet are in pain, so he's very excited to put the shoes on. The feel goods. He's ready to feel good. How did you come up with the name, by the way?
It was like immediate. I was like, man,
Really?
yeah. I was like, man, these things feel good, and I'm like, they're
What?
they're my feel goods. Like they just like
That is perfect.
yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah,
So
and I just like added the Z at the end because it just felt like a little zinger.
Yeah, that's
Um,
amazing. Feel goods. That's feelgoodz with a Z.com. Everyone can visit and buy your next favorite pair of shoes to wear.
thank you.
so we have a question that we love to ask everyone we get together with, and it's what are you grateful for? Or what are you most grateful for?
Oh gosh.
Not an easy one, I know.
Uh,
Probably that I've stopped complaining about my feet.
yeah, I think it's grateful to wake up with a new day. Knowing about the possibilities of the day and knowing that I have my health, mind, body, and spirit. Um, really grateful for that, and for my family as well. So
Amazing.
yeah.
Awesome. That's
That's beautiful.
what we do this for.
Yeah. We're grateful that you are changing the world with one step at a time, literally, which is so cool. So thank you so much for being our guest today and teaching everybody how to be better people and to help each other help the world out. So I really am excited to see what happens, and I'm excited to see those feel goods in every hotel I visit in the very near future. Cheers to you.
Thank you so much for having me. I've loved being a part of this. So thank you.
Thank
It
you.
was great meeting you. I'm going to bring my feel goods with me.
Nice.
He's going to carry them everywhere. Watch. Send a picture whenever you get a chance. Okay, Chef?
Absolutely.
We're gonna get pictures of his feet in our phones next. It's going to be cute. Thank you, Kyle. Take care. And we're
All
so
right.
happy for you. This is going to be amazing.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you,
Thank
Kyle.
you.
Great meeting you. We'll see you soon for some Thai food.
For
Yeah, let's do
sure.
it. I'm holding you to
Kapun
it.
ka.
Okay.
Up good cup.
Wasn't he great, Chef?
Oh, he was awesome. No,
Right?
it's a great company and he's got a great vision and I think it's a small thing, but not really, not with all the tons of material waste that
I can't believe that. 100 million pairs.
yeah.
That's just in the US that he said. 100
I-
million pairs a year, just in the US. That doesn't count Europe, Asia, all the
right.
other continents also that have hotels. That's a lot. And it's just going into whatever landfill that it's, being taken to. It's just terrible. Terrible, terrible. So, but we learned so much. And I really am excited for the day where I walk into a hotel and I see a pair of feel goods in my hotel room ready to be slipped on, and I get to take them home for just $20. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Yes.
I spent 30 on these things and they look amazing.
Right? And they're so nice. And then like I want to see my favorite hotel brands with their logo on them. And I
Yeah.
can wear those at home and just like live my life knowing that I'm not contributing to that white slipper landfill situation that's happening. So it's
Oh,
very cool. It was a really great show. I'm so glad Kyle joined us.
it was a lot of fun.
Thanks, Chef. And he lived in Thailand just like you. How cool.
I only stayed there. I can't say I lived there. I was only there for a month.
That's a month, though. Officially at 30 days, you kind of live there, I think.
Okay, fine. I'll take it.
And we didn't even get to talk about how awesome the Feelgoodz team is. I've met several of them.
Okay. Well,
And Lauren, the whole team, they're amazing. They're all
you,
so, so nice. Oh,
we didn't even talk about Pat Pong with this one. Okay.
I know. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode of the Hotel Club podcast with my co-host, Chef Adam Mali, and myself, Kristy Whitford. I am so glad we got to speak with Kyle, the founder of Feelgoodz, and please go check out his company website. It's Feelgoodz with a Z. That's FeelgoodZ.com, and see all the amazing slipper styles they have, learn more about their story, how they're really changing the world with just one sandal at a time, which is so phenomenal. And I cannot wait until I really do step into a hotel room and see the feel goods there for me to put on and take home. It's a win-win. I'm so thrilled for all the hotel partners that joined this movement. And I'm so excited to see the potential of really changing how we think about the slippers inside of a hotel. So wherever you are. I hope that you have a beautiful day. Take care, be kind, and look forward to the next episode with you. Cheers.